Ecclesiastes chapter 1. Here is a slightly rewritten version of the passage. The words of the preacher, the son of David, who reigned in Jerusalem. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. Vanity of vanities. All is vanity. What gain does a person have from all their toil under the sun? One generation passes away, and another generation comes, but the earth remains forever. The sun rises, and the sun sets, and hurries back to the place where it rises. The wind goes toward the south and turns around to the north. It whirls about continually, and the wind returns again in its circuits. All the rivers flow into the sea, yet the sea is not full. To the place where the rivers come, they flow again. Everything is full of wearisome toil. Man cannot express it. The eye is not satisfied with seeing, nor the ear filled with hearing. What has been is what will be, and what has been done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Is there a thing of which it is said, "See, this is new"? It has been already, in the ages before us. There is no remembrance of former things, nor will there be any remembrance of later things yet to be among those who come after. I, the preacher, was king over Israel in Jerusalem. I applied my heart to seek and to search out by wisdom all that is done under heaven. It is an unhappy business that God has given to the children of man to be busy with. I have seen everything that is done under the sun, and behold, all is vanity and a striving after wind. What is crooked cannot be made straight, and what is lacking cannot be counted. I said in my heart, I have acquired great wisdom, surpassing all who were over Jerusalem before me, and my heart has had great experience of wisdom and knowledge. And I applied my heart to know wisdom and to know madness and folly. I perceive that this also is but a striving after wind. For in much wisdom is much vexation, and he who increases knowledge increases sorrow. Ecclesiastes chapter 3. To everything, there is a season and a time for every purpose under heaven. A time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot what is planted. A time to kill and a time to heal, a time to break down and a time to build up. A time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to mourn and a time to dance. A time to cast away stones and a time to gather stones together. A time to embrace and a time to refrain from embracing. A time to gain and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away. A time to tear apart and a time to sow, a time to keep silence and a time to speak. A time to love and a time to hate, a time for war and a time for peace. What profit does one gain from the toil in which they labor? I have observed the task that God has given to the sons of men to be exercised in. He has made everything beautiful in its time, also, He has placed eternity in their hearts, yet no one can fathom the work God does from beginning to end. I know that nothing is better for them than to rejoice and do good in their lives, and also that everyone should eat and drink and take pleasure in all their labor. It is the gift of God. I know that everything God does will remain forever. Nothing can be added to it or taken from it. God does this so that men will fear Him. That which has been is what will be, and that which is done is what will be done, and there is nothing new under the sun. Moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment, where there was wickedness, and the place of righteousness, where there was iniquity. I said in my heart, God will judge both the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time for every purpose and every work. I said in my heart concerning the condition of the sons of men, that God might reveal them, and that they might see that they themselves are like beasts. For what befalls the sons of men also befalls beasts. One thing befalls them, as one dies, so dies the other. Surely they all have one breath. Man has no advantage over beasts, for all is vanity. All go to one place, all are from the dust, and all return to dust. Who knows the spirit of man that goes upward and the spirit of the beast that goes downward to the earth? So, I perceive that there is nothing better than for a man to rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who can bring him to see what will happen after him? Ecclesiastes chapter 4. So I turned back and reflected upon all the oppressions that occur under the sun. I saw the tears of those who were oppressed, and they had no comforter, and on the side of their oppressors there was power, but they had no comforter. Therefore, I praise the dead who are already gone more than the living who are still alive. Indeed, it is better for a person who has not yet been born, who has not seen the evil deeds done under the sun. Once more, I observed all the toil and every skillful work, and I saw how people envy their neighbors. This is also futile and a chasing after the wind. The fool folds his hands and consumes his own flesh. It is better to have a handful with tranquility than both hands full of toil and a striving after the wind. Then I returned and saw vanity under the sun. There is one person alone without a second, without child or brother, and yet there is no end to all his toil, and his eye is never satisfied with riches. He asks himself, for whom am I toiling and depriving myself of good things? This too is futile, and it is a grievous task. Two are better than one because they have a good reward for their toil. For if they fall, one will lift up his companion. But woe to the one who falls alone when there is no one to help him up. Also, if two lie together, they will keep warm. But how can one keep warm alone? And if someone overpowers one person, two can resist him. A cord of 3 strands is not quickly broken. It is better to be a poor but wise child than an old and foolish king who no longer listens to advice. For from prison he comes to reign, even though he was born poor in his kingdom. I observed all the living who walk under the sun, along with the successor who will rise up in his place. There is no end to all the people who have gone before them. Yet those who come later will not rejoice in him. Surely this too is futile and a striving after the wind. Ecclesiastes chapter 5. Be mindful of your steps when you go to the house of God, and be more eager to listen than to offer the sacrifice of fools, for they don't even realize they do evil. Don't be hasty with your words, and don't let your heart rush to utter anything before God. God is in heaven, and you are on earth, so let your words be few. Dreams come from many worries, and fools are known by their excessive words. When you make a vow to God, don't delay in fulfilling it, for God takes no pleasure in fools. Pay what you vow. It's better not to vow at all than to vow and not pay. Don't let your mouth cause your flesh to sin, and don't say before the angel that it was a mistake. Why should God be angry at your voice and destroy the work of your hands? In the multitude of dreams and many words, there are also many vanities. Fear God. If you see the oppression of the poor and the perversion of justice and judgment in a province, don't be astonished by the matter, for one higher than the highest watches, and there are others higher than they. The earth's profit is for all, even the king profits from the fields. The one who loves silver will not be satisfied with silver, nor the one who loves abundance with their income. This too is futile. When possessions increase, so do those who consume them. What advantage is there to the owners except looking at them with their own eyes? The sleep of a laboring person is sweet, whether they eat little or much, but the abundance of the rich will not allow them to rest. There is a grievous evil I have seen under the sun, riches hoarded to the owner's harm. These riches are lost in a bad venture, and when they have a son, there is nothing left in their hands. As they came from their mother's womb, they will return, naked as they came. They will take nothing for their toil to carry away in their hands. This is a grievous evil, just as they came, so they will go. What profit is there for them in their toil for the wind? All their days they eat in darkness, and they have much sorrow and anger with their sickness. Consider what I have seen. It is good and fitting for one to eat, drink, and enjoy the fruits of their labor under the sun all the days of their life. This is the gift of God. For they will not remember many of the days of their life because God fills them with joy in their heart. Ecclesiastes chapter 6. There is an issue that I have observed beneath the sun, and it is prevalent among people. A person to whom God has granted riches, wealth, and honor, so that they lack nothing for their desires, yet God does not grant them the power to enjoy these blessings. Instead, a stranger enjoys them. This is vanity and a grievous affliction. Suppose a man fathers 100 children and lives many years, so that his days are numerous, but his soul is not satisfied with goodness, and he receives no proper burial. In my view, an untimely birth is better than he. For he comes in emptiness and departs in darkness, and his name will be shrouded in darkness. Moreover, he has not seen the sun or known anything. He has more rest than the other. Even if he lives 1,000 years twice over, he still hasn't experienced goodness. Do not both go to the same place? All the toil of man is for his mouth, yet his appetite remains unsatisfied. What advantage does the wise have over the fool? What does the poor person gain who knows how to live before the living? The sight of the eyes is better than the roaming of desire. This too is futile and a pursuit of wind. Whatever has happened has already been named, and it is known that this is man. He cannot contend with the one who is mightier than he. Since there are many things that increase vanity, what does man gain from it? For who knows what is good for man during his vain life, which he passes like a shadow? Who can tell a man what will happen after him beneath the sun? Ecclesiastes chapter 7. A good reputation is more valuable than precious ointment, and the day of death is more significant than the day of one's birth. It is wiser to visit a house of mourning than a house of feasting because death is the destiny of all, and the living should contemplate it. Sorrow can be more instructive than laughter. It can refine the heart through its gravity. The wise find themselves in the house of mourning, while fools revel in the house of mirth. It is better to heed the counsel of the wise than to listen to the song of fools, for the laughter of fools is as empty as the crackling of thorns under a pot. Oppression can drive a wise person to madness, and a bribe can corrupt the heart. The end of a matter is better than its beginning, and patience surpasses pride. Don't be quick to anger, as anger resides in the hearts of fools. Don't say, "Why were the former days better than these?" You are not acting wisely by asking such questions. Wisdom is beneficial when combined with an inheritance, providing profit to those who see the sun. Wisdom and money both have their uses, but wisdom offers the advantage of giving life to those who possess it. Consider the works of God, for who can straighten what he has made crooked? In times of prosperity, be joyful, but in adversity, reflect on the fact that God has set one against the other so that humanity may find no fault with him. I have observed everything during my fleeting days of vanity. A just person can perish in their righteousness, while a wicked one may prolong their life in wickedness. Don't be overly righteous or excessively wise, as it can harm you. Nor should you be overly wicked or foolish, for it can lead to your premature death. Hold on to this balance. One who fears God will navigate it well. Wisdom bolsters the wise more than 10 mighty men in the city. There is no one on earth who is perfectly righteous and without sin. Don't pay too much attention to every word spoken, or you may hear your servant curse you. For you, too, have cursed others in your heart many times. I have searched for wisdom diligently, yet it eluded me. It is beyond reach, profound, and elusive. I set my heart on understanding, exploring, and seeking wisdom and the reason behind things. I also wanted to understand the foolishness and madness that are part of human folly. I discovered something more bitter than death, a woman who ensnares with her heart, whose hands are like chains. Those who please God will escape her, but sinners will be ensnared by her. I have searched, but I have only found this: among 1,000 men, I have found one upright person, but not a single upright woman among them all. This is what I have determined: God made man upright, but they have sought out many schemes. Ecclesiastes chapter 8. Who is like the wise person, and who understands the interpretation of things? A person's wisdom brightens their face, and changes the expression on their face. I advise you to obey the king's command, and remember your oath to God. Do not rush to leave the king's presence. Do not stand in rebellion, for the king does whatever pleases him. Where the king's word is spoken, there is authority, and who can question him, saying, "What are you doing?" Those who keep the commandment will not experience harm, and a wise person's heart discerns both the right time and judgment. Because there is a time and judgment for every matter, human misery is great. No one knows what the future holds, and who can tell when it will come? No one has power over the spirit to retain it, and no one has power over the day of death. There is no discharge in that war, and wickedness cannot save those given to it. I have observed all these things and focused my heart on every work done under the sun. There is a time when one person rules over another to their own detriment. I have seen the wicked buried, those who had come and gone from the holy place, and they were forgotten in the city where they had acted. This, too, is futile. Because a sentence against an evil deed is not executed quickly, the hearts of people are encouraged to do evil. Although a sinner may commit 100 crimes and still live a long life, I know that it will go well for those who fear God, those who stand in awe before Him. But it will not go well for the wicked, and their days will be like a shadow, because they do not fear God. There is an injustice done on the earth. Sometimes, righteous people receive the same treatment as the wicked, and wicked people receive the same treatment as the righteous. I said that this, too, is futile. So I embraced mirth, recognizing that there is nothing better for a person under the sun than to eat, drink, and be merry. This joy will accompany them in their toil during the days of their life, which God has given them under the sun. When I set my heart to acquire wisdom and to observe the work done on the earth, whether day or night without sleep, I realized that one cannot fully comprehend the work God does under the sun. Even though a person may labor to seek it out, they will not find it. Even if a wise person thinks they can understand it, they will not be able to grasp it. Ecclesiastes chapter 9. I pondered all of this deeply in my heart to make it clear that the righteous and the wise, along with their deeds, are in the hand of God. No one can know whether they will experience love or hatred based on what lies ahead. All things come to everyone alike. The same fate awaits the righteous and the wicked, the good and the unclean, those who offer sacrifices and those who do not. The same fate awaits the one who takes oaths and the one who fears oaths. This is a grievous evil among all that happens under the sun. There is one destiny for all. Moreover, the hearts of mankind are full of evil, and madness resides in their hearts throughout their lives. Afterward, they go to the dead. For those who are alive, there is hope because a living dog is better than a dead lion. The living are aware that they will die, but the dead are conscious of nothing. They no longer have any reward, and even their memory has perished. Their love, hatred, and envy have also disappeared, and they no longer have a share in anything done under the sun. So go, eat your bread with joy, and drink your wine with a cheerful heart, for God has already accepted your deeds. Let your garments always be white, and may you never lack anointing oil for your head. Enjoy life with the wife you love throughout all the days of your fleeting life, which has been given to you under the sun, all your fleeting days. For this is your portion in life and in the labor that you do under the sun. Whatever your hand finds to do, do it with all your might, for there is no work, planning, knowledge, or wisdom in the realm of the dead where you are going. I observed further under the sun, the race is not always won by the swift, the battle is not always won by the strong, and food is not always provided to the wise. Riches are not always given to the intelligent, and favor is not always shown to the skilled. Time and chance can happen to anyone. For no one knows their appointed time. As fish are caught in a cruel net or birds are taken in a snare, so people are trapped by evil times that fall unexpectedly upon them. This wisdom I have also observed under the sun, and it impressed me greatly. There was a small city with only a few inhabitants, and a great king came against it, surrounded it, and built strong siege works against it. But there was found in the city a poor, wise man who used his wisdom to deliver the city. Yet no one remembered that poor man. So I concluded that wisdom is better than strength, although the poor man's wisdom is despised, and his words are not heeded. The wise person's words are heard in calmness, but the shouting of a ruler among fools is not. Wisdom is superior to weapons of war, but one sinner can destroy much good. Ecclesiastes chapter 10. Dead flies can make the perfumer's ointment give off a foul odor, so can a little foolishness tarnish the reputation of one known for wisdom and honor. A wise person's heart leads them in the right direction, while a fool's heart leads them astray. Even when a fool is on the road, their lack of wisdom is evident to everyone they meet. If a ruler becomes angry with you, do not leave your post. Remaining calm can prevent major disputes. I have seen an injustice under the sun, foolish people in high positions, while the rich are relegated to lowly places. I've observed servants riding on horseback while princes walk as if they were servants. Those who dig pits may fall into them, and those who break through walls may be bitten by snakes. Those who move stones may be injured by them, and those who split wood may be endangered. If the blade is dull and one doesn't sharpen it, more effort is required, but wisdom makes tasks easier. Even without a serpent charmer, a snake may bite. Likewise, a babbler is equally problematic. The words of a wise person are gracious, but a fool's lips can lead to his own destruction. A fool starts with foolishness and ends up in reckless madness. A fool talks endlessly, never knowing what will happen to him, or what will happen after he is gone. Foolish labor exhausts everyone because they don't even know the way to the city. Woe to a land whose king is a youth, and whose princes feast in the morning. Blessed is a land whose king is from noble birth, and whose princes dine at the proper time, for strength rather than drunkenness. Through laziness, the house falls into disrepair, and with idle hands, the house springs leaks. A feast is made for enjoyment, and wine makes the heart glad, but money can resolve many things. Do not curse the king, even in your thoughts, and do not curse the rich in your bedroom, for a bird of the air may carry your words, and a creature with wings may report your speech. Ecclesiastes chapter 11. Cast your bread upon the waters, for you will find it again after many days. Give a portion to 7, or even to 8, for you do not know what adversity may come upon the earth. If the clouds are full of rain, they will pour it out upon the earth, and when a tree falls, whether it falls to the south or to the north, in the place where it falls, there it will lie. Those who watch the wind will not sow, and those who observe the clouds will not reap. Just as you do not understand the way of the wind or how the bones form in the womb of a pregnant woman, you also do not comprehend the works of God, who makes everything. Sow your seed in the morning and do not withhold your hand in the evening, for you do not know which will succeed, whether this or that, or if both will be equally good. Indeed, the light is pleasant, and it is delightful for the eyes to see the sun. But if a person lives many years and rejoices in them all, they should remember that the days of darkness will be many. Everything that comes is vanity. So, young person, be joyful in your youth, let your heart cheer you in the days of your youth, follow the desires of your heart, and the things your eyes see. But know that for all these things, God will bring you into judgment. Therefore, remove sorrow from your heart and put away evil from your body, for childhood and youth are fleeting. Ecclesiastes chapter 12. Remember your Creator in the days of your youth, before the evil days come and the years draw near when you will say, I have no pleasure in them. Before the sun, light, moon, and stars are darkened, and the clouds return after the rain. In the day when the keepers of the house tremble, and the strong men bow themselves, and the grinders cease because they are few, and those who look out of the windows are darkened, and the doors are shut in the streets, when the sound of grinding is low, and you rise up at the voice of the bird, and all the daughters of music are brought low. Also, when you are afraid of heights, and fears are in the way, and the almond tree flourishes, and the grasshopper becomes a burden, and desire fails. For man goes to his long home, and mourners go about the streets. Before the silver cord is loosed, or the golden bowl is broken, or the pitcher is broken at the fountain, or the wheel is broken at the cistern, then shall the dust return to the earth as it was, and the spirit shall return to God who gave it. Vanity of vanities, says the preacher. All is vanity. And furthermore, because the preacher was wise, he continued to teach the people knowledge. He gave careful attention, sought out, and organized many proverbs. The preacher sought to find acceptable words, and what was written was upright, even words of truth. The words of the wise are like goads, and they are like nails firmly fastened by the masters of assemblies, given from one shepherd. And further, my son, be admonished by these, of making many books there is no end, and much study is a weariness of the flesh. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep His commandments, for this is the whole duty of humanity. For God will bring every work into judgment, including every secret thing, whether it is good or evil.